Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome back. We are continuing on our path of the DSM-5, and today we are going over bipolar and the other related disorders. I don't know why they call it that because it's just really bipolar, but whatever. We are going to be taking a dive into the differences between all three of these disorders that you are seeing presented in front of you right now. But before we do that, we are going to do an overview, and the overview for bipolar is it's the same across the board for each and every one of them. The mood disturbances, hypomania, mania, and depression is what you are going to be seeing in these different disorders that we're going to be discussing. Changes in your energy, your activity, and your ability to function is also about bipolar and the other related disorders, which is just bipolar II and the cyclothymic disorder that we're going to be discussing. Now, let's get started. This is how I taught myself the differences between bipolar I and bipolar II. When you hear bipolar I, you have one phase, one episode, or however you want to put it. That's the manic episode. It lasts for 1 week. It's 7 days. On the exam, the duration, the days that they may present in a question can make you or break you. You must know the difference between the duration between each of these disorders. Okay, bipolar I, 1 week, 7 days. Take a look at the symptoms that are presented. You are going to see the exact same symptoms presented in bipolar II, but there's a difference in the severity and the duration of them. Bipolar I might lead that client to be hospitalized. The phases, the days of the mania may last longer if the client is hospitalized. Inflated self-esteem, grandiosity, decreased need for sleep. They might sleep only for about maybe 3 to 4 hours, right? They're talkative. They have more erratic behavior. They might be engaging in sexual activities that might be harming towards them. They could be talking about, I'm quitting my job and I'm moving out of the United States. I'm moving to a different company. I'm moving to a different country. I am about to start my own company. Flight of ideas. It's like the thoughts and the stuff that they have is like racing. It's like this increased. It's an increase in their energy level. They feel like they're on top of the world, right? They don't need to sleep because they're just going, right? That's bipolar I. Now, here's the additional information about bipolar I. One manic episode has to occur in order for it to fit the diagnosis for bipolar I. Hypomania and a depressive episode, it can happen, but it's not required for the diagnosis. One manic episode is necessary for the diagnosis of bipolar I. Bipolar I, the symptoms are going to last 1 week. That's 7 days. Okay? Bipolar II, hypomania. The same symptoms you see here is also in bipolar I. The symptoms only last 4 days. Increased self-esteem, grandiosity, talking excessively, flight of ideas. I'm quitting my job. I'm about to move to a different country. I'm moving out of the state, right? Increased goal-directed behavior. Sometimes, again, the erratic behavior, whether if it's sexual, it's going to be something that could possibly be dangerous. They don't need to sleep a lot. 3 to 4 hours they might be sleeping. More talkative. 4 days. That is the difference between hypomania and the mania. Mania is 7 days. Hypomania is 4 days. Now, with bipolar II, there is also what? The depressive episode. It is going to last for 2 weeks. Depressed mood, loss of interest in things, don't want to do anything, the change in appetite, the change in the sleep patterns, the feeling of worthlessness, might be suicidal, might have suicidal thoughts, right? There cannot be a manic episode when it comes to bipolar II. If a manic episode occurs, it's not bipolar II, it's bipolar I. Bipolar I does not have to come with a depressive episode, right? Because if it did, then it would be bipolar II. If a manic episode occurs with bipolar II, it's not bipolar II, it's bipolar I. If you are thinking that a manic episode has occurred and you were thinking that it was bipolar II, then it's not. It's bipolar I. Because the difference between mania and hypomania is what? It's the duration. Mania episode is 7 days. Hypomania is 4 days. The symptoms for bipolar I, mania, and hypomania and bipolar II are the same. The difference between bipolar I and bipolar II is what? The depressive episode that is going to occur. For how long? 2 weeks. Okay, that is your difference between bipolar I and bipolar II. Now, here we are, cyclothymic disorder. The symptoms must occur for 2 years and 1 year in children and adults. There is like a ton of different periods of hypomanic symptoms, and you're going to have numerous periods of depressive symptoms, right? It does not fully meet the criteria for a hypomanic episode or a major depressive episode, right? But you can say it's still a part of bipolar, but it's going to be the cyclothymic disorder. The symptoms are going to present the same. The hypomanic and the depressive, half the time it must be occurring. You cannot go without these symptoms for more than 2 months at a time. If you go more than 2 months at a time without these symptoms, it's probably not cyclothymic disorder, right? It could possibly be something that is maybe, I don't know, maybe unspecified or whatever. A full major depressive episode or a full manic or hypomanic episode, if it has been met, it's not cyclothymic disorder. It's either going to be bipolar I or bipolar II. I'll repeat that. If the individual has had a major depressive episode, a full-on manic episode, or a full-on hypomanic episode, then it's not cyclothymic disorder. It's either bipolar I or it's bipolar II. This is for if you are trying to say, if it's cyclothymic disorder, then the criteria for those have never been met. If the criteria for those have been met, it's not cyclothymic disorder. And that's just me repeating it because I want to make it make sense to each and every one of you. Bipolar I has what? One phase. That is the manic phase. It lasts for how long? 1 week, 7 days. Stay the course. If it's longer than the 7 days and it's a hospitalization, it could well possibly still be bipolar I because there is no depressive episode that follows with it. Okay? The diagnosis for bipolar I does not necessarily need a major depressive episode. It can happen, but it's not needed for the diagnosis. Okay? Bipolar II has 2 phases. That is hypomania. It lasts for 4 days. And you have a major depressive episode, which is how long? 2 weeks. The major depressive episode fits the same characteristics for MDD, major depressive disorder. Okay? If you have a full mania episode, it's not bipolar II, it's what? It's bipolar I. Cyclothymic disorder, 2 years for adults, 1 year for children and adolescents. Half the time you have in major depressive episodes, half the time you have in mania. If you have had a full manic episode and a full major depressive episode or a full hypomania episode, it's not cyclothymic, it's either bipolar I or it's bipolar II. If you do not know the durations for these different diagnoses, it can make or break you when it comes to the exam. Pay close attention to what that question is including when it comes to the duration and those symptoms. Pay close attention to it. Pay attention to how it's worded. Pay attention to it. The symptoms for bipolar I, bipolar II, and bipolar, they're the same. They're the same. The only difference is what? The difference in the duration and the severity. One of these disorders can lead to hospitalization. The other one, studies, I think information is saying that bipolar I leads to hospitalization and bipolar II is least likely for that to happen. Pay attention. I am hoping that this made sense to each and every one of you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about either of these disorders, please don't be afraid to reach out. I know these were some of the disorders that people were kind of like getting tripped up over, and it's okay. We are just here. We are learning to gather the information so that we can have a better understanding of it. Do not be afraid to reach out to me. Do not be afraid to do your own research if you feel as though something I have included in this video just doesn't sit well with you. I am okay with that. Please let me know. I don't want to give false information to anyone. But I hope this video has found each and every one of you well, and you do have a better understanding of Bipolar I, Bipolar II, and the Cyclothymic Disorder, and you understand and know now how to navigate these different questions when it comes to the MFT National Exam.